Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Mathis, and today I'd like to talk about Abbey. A common problem security or DevSecOps engineers like you and I have is knowing which permissions to give to other engineers inside your organization. In the current day and age, you basically have two options. Either you give them too many permissions and your engineers will have access to resources and settings you wouldn't want them to touch. While they might not want to intentionally delete your important S3 buckets, they could do so by accident. Giving someone more permissions than they need is also a surefire way to increase the blast radius of an attack by malicious adversaries. Regardless of how you look at it, giving them more permissions than required makes your organization less reliable and definitely less secure. Another alternative is giving your engineers too few permissions. While this is admittedly safer than giving them too many permissions, you'll end up slowing down your team to a grinding halt by blocking the access to the resources they need to perform their responsibilities. A side effect of this is that you'll be woken up at all hours of the night because your engineers need access to crucial resources that your strict policies don't allow access to. Additionally, you'd have compliance on your tail, demanding audit logs and records of why access was given, when it was given, and who approved it. All of this can be incredibly stressful and time-consuming, and very, very risky if you don't get it right. Thankfully, Abbey is on a mission to make access governance much, much easier, allowing you to give your engineers access to the resources they need only when they need them. Abbey accomplishes this using three distinct components: Terraform, be that the open source version, Terraform Cloud, or Terraform Enterprise, the Abbey web app, and GitHub. Firstly, we'll use the Abbey Terraform provider to create a grant kit. A grant kit outlines the process for a user to acquire access to a resource through a request. Who should approve the request, what rules and conditions must be met before the request can be approved, including how long they would have access for, as well as how Abbey should give that access when the request has been approved. Because Abbey is agnostic to the resources being created, you can use any provider or module in the Terraform registry. You can even use private providers and modules. The Abbey provider also has a resource called Identity. This is a resource that links Abbey accounts to other account identifiers such as IAM users or Okta user IDs. The identity resource describes who access should be given to. For example, this is a grant kit named AWS IAM Admin Group, and when materialized, should add the requester to the IAM Admin Group. Your grant kit's workflow block contains one or more steps defining who should approve the request. That could be one or multiple people in a multitude of configurations. In this case, John Doe at Abbey.io is the only one who needs to approve this request in order for access to be granted. The policy block allows you to add an open policy agent policy that will be evaluated before the access is granted. This can be used to validate data, allow or deny requests based on compliance or safety rules, as well as add revocation rules. In this case, we have an inline policy that will automatically revoke access to the resource after 24 hours. Lastly, the output attribute describes the actual Terraform resource that will grant you the desired access and where it should be appended to. In our case, that's an AWS IAM group membership referencing the IAM admin group and my Abbey identity. Utilizing the GitOps approach, make a commit and push your new Abbey resources to a GitHub repository that is connected to Abbey, after which GitHub Actions will trigger a workflow to materialize your grant kits and identities. Although it's worth mentioning that this can also be achieved using Terraform Cloud, Atlantis, or any other orchestration system. When these workflows are finished, your resources will show up in the Abbey web app, where you or someone else on your team can request access to the resources that your grant kit describes. As soon as you request access, Abbey will create a pull request to the aforementioned GitHub repository with the access resources that were described in the grant kit's output block. All that needs to happen now is the designated reviewers in the grant kit workflow attribute need to approve the request. Once that's done, the PR will automatically be merged, then the GitHub Actions workflow will run again and apply those Terraform changes. And if everything goes well, the user will have access to the requested resources. If you've added a policy to your grant kit that describes an expiration date, Abbey will automatically create and approve a pull request to remove that access when that time comes. And there you have it. That's how Abbey can provide your engineers with easy, right-sized, and auditable access to your cloud resources. If you'd like to get started on your own Abbey project, I highly recommend trying out the Getting Started tutorial or one of the other application-specific quick starts. I would also like to invite you to our community Slack. If you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.